Welcome everyone to this episode of Salon Confidential. And look who's in my chair today. She's a broadcaster. She is an editor. It's Alice Beer.
Hurrah!
Hello, how are you, my love?
I'm so happy to be here. I don't think I've ever sat with you
We're
without
actually gagging
drinking.
for a
It's
drink
like,
immediately.
yes.
So cheers to that.
Skål
First of all.
to you.
Cheers, my love. Let's get it
Oh, that's
into
better.
the Christmas spirit. You
Now
know?
it feels more like me chatting to Andreas.
Yeah, that is much better because we are used to actually normally drink a lot when we see
But
each
often
other.
we don't make sense.
Say it again.
Often we don't make sense when we're talking to each
But
other.
we
It's
do
just a
think
lot
that
of
we
nonsense.
make sense, and that's the most important thing for
okay,
everybody.
good.
So what I normally ask all my guests, the first question is, are there any hair icons you've got? Like someone you look at and you go, ooh, I want a little bit of that.
Okay, so growing up, I was a child of the 90s.
Yeah.
So I was born in 1965, which on the maths, I just turned 60 this year. So it was obvious.
By the way, that is
Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
I obviously was friends and Rachel and Jennifer Aniston. So every hairdresser I went into and I wanted a Rachel cut.
Yeah.
But every hairdresser I went into through the 90s, I went in asking for a Rachel. I came out looking like Princess Diana every single time. No, but I didn't
why do you
want
think
to
that
look
is?
like
I mean-
because I just had the kind of slightly the face, and they cut my hair. I'm terrified of hairdressers because they all just give me the Diana every time. They can't help themselves.
So you're
It's the
still
thing.
terrified?
Slightly, even you, being here. If I'm in a bar with you, it's fine. But being here with you, I'm slightly scared.
Can I just explain to everybody? Alice just came in and I said, oh, I just need to put a little bit of some cream in for the flyaways. And you looked at me totally mortified.
Honestly, when you ask the makeup artists at work, they come towards me and they're sort of squeezing something and rubbing their hands. I say, no product, no product.
Why do you not like any product?
Look, I've got hair that if you put loads of stuff in it, it just hangs down. And I don't like washing my hair every day. And I don't want to wake up with an oil rig on my head.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little bit like, no, what is this stuff you're putting in my hair? I'm
But I
not
think
really
for TV,
a very
do
nice
you not
person.
think there's a difference with TV hair? Like, is it not like that when you see, because I get very, very upset about when I see someone on TV and there's this bloody flyaway hair and it freaks me out.
Well, it's just taken about half an hour to get these cameras rolling without you coming
It's
over.
not true, everybody.
Smooth on the right, smooth on the left, smooth on the right.
You're very dramatic. I love the spirit.
I
So what was actually then your worst? That's the next question. What was your worst hair experience? What was the most traumatic moment?
I think we've got to go, worst hair experience has got to go from 1970 through till about probably 2000. Because
30 years of bad hair.
always bad hair, really bad hair. Look at any photos. If I look back at a school photo, we all had lovely faces. We all were perfectly sweet, innocent girls. I went to
Yeah.
a girls' school. Our hair was hideous. Every single one had really bad hair. We had kinky fringes. We had kind of unruly hair. We all had really shit hair. How clean is this, by the way, this podcast?
You can swear a little bit, darling.
I can
It's
say
not a
shit,
problem. We can always
we all
keep
had
it out.
really, really bad hair in that era.
Yeah.
Not like, my daughters have lovely long hair with lots of stuff in it. Everyone now, I look down the street and thought, God, when I was in my 20s, my hair was horrid. And now it's so nice.
Well,
so,
that's
yeah,
good. So you come a long way. Hey?
I've come a long way. Now I think it's all right.
I think it looks great.
Do you?
It's a little bit longer. No, I love it.
I know, but
No, I think, and also you like to quite simple, not too much effort. So that's quite good because
That's me.
I think in the times we're living now, a lot of clients, I think, because when I moved from John Frieda in Mayfair, that was it's kind of a different vibe because it's more about big blow dries and all of that. I mean, they are back, like a lot of younger girls want those big blow dries, but
Yes.
I think it's kind of also where you live. In Notting Hill, it's definitely more about get the tongs out, just diffuse it a little bit to make it as rock and roll as natural.
Or
so it must be your time now.
A Kerastase. I mean, sorry, that's
Keratin
a brand, isn't it?
treatment,
Sorry,
yeah.
a keratin treatment.
Yeah.
To have a keratin
Just move
treatment
it.
now,
Yeah.
where was that when I was 20?
Yeah, it wasn't there. Actually, we did it with not perm lotion. It was a paste
Was
you
it?
put on, and then you could
Yeah,
actually.
straightener thing.
I did leave it on too long at one point for an ex-colleague of mine, and the hair fell out slightly in the front. But that's a different story, so don't
Do you
judge
put that
me.
on your byline?
Yes, that's
Her
how I
hair
sell
fell out
myself to my
slightly.
clients. By the way, his hair fell out. Come to me. You are in very good.
It's a great advert. Oh
So
my
also, like what I ask all my guests, do you have any hair hacks? Like anything you would
Well,
do, or
It used to be McDonald's hand dryer because I had this kinky wavy hair, which is dead straight now thanks to a lot of Dyson products. But yeah, it used to be that anywhere we were going out, if there was any moisture in the air,
Yeah.
like no, just a tiniest bit of moisture in the air,
yeah,
we would all go into McDonald's. You know, the hand dryer that
Yeah,
turns
yeah,
around
yeah,
and
yeah.
do our fringes, turn them under like this. There was a lot of that going on.
that
Now, not so much, but I would still, when I go to an event, if I go to the loos first, and if they've got one of those turny roundy dryers,
You still do it.
fantastic. The Dyson, put your hands in, no, not so good.
oh,
I've tried putting my head in it, but it doesn't fit.
didn't come out after. But you know, my little party trick actually is like
tell me.
talking about my own hack. Is actually I use hand cream when I go to a restaurant.
Oh.
Because sometimes I put product in my hair, then I go out, then I freak out in the bathroom. But I am a homosexual, so in that case, obviously that's
What?
part of.
Hang on a minute.
I do love to say it like that instead of being gay. I just homosexual. I heard someone saying it on TV, and I thought, oh, I'm going to copy that.
good.
So, and I always put hand cream in. So that's good advice for everybody. Put some hand cream in your hair for the little flyaways or whatever.
That's very good
it
advice.
works,
But
thank
I
you.
once went to a very swanky party. You and I have some very lovely friends
Lovely.
who spoil us a
Yeah.
lot. I once went to a party in the south of France, and there were some other friends who were having a huge 50th on Cap Ferrat.
Yeah.
We went to the party. I washed my hair beforehand in the hotel, pump in the shower, put it on. They'd got those three things lined up. One is shampoo, one is conditioner, and one is body lotion in my hair. Lots and lots and lots of body lotion in my hair. I went to that party looking like it was just.
It's fashion now. Lots of
no,
celebs have a lot of like products in their hair now.
Yeah,
So
I can't
it's
take
kind
it.
of.
I'm too old.
So, but how did you? Because I obviously, I'm not obviously, but I know you. We met many, many times, and it's quite interesting when you actually meet someone. You kind of think you get to know them or you know them. And I know you for like 8 years or something now, or is that
that what it is?
correct? Something
Maybe.
like that. And but I would like to find out more at the how was the beginning of your career? How did you get into TV? And I mean, you did Watchdog, you did Show Me the Money.
Yeah.
How did that all start?
So I didn't do very well in my A levels at all. And I went to a college and studied English and education. So I was going to be a primary school teacher.
Right.
And when I was there, I wrote off to Blue Peter,
Right.
the children's program,
Yeah.
to say, please, can I be a Blue Peter presenter? And they wrote back and said no.
Harsh.
Harsh, very harsh. I've got the letter still in a scrapbook.
Still in therapy about
Still very much suffering. It choked every time.
drink.
I know. So I did a T-line, a BBC course, which taught you how to be a production secretary, basically, or how to be a secretary. It was brilliant. It taught me T-line, shorthand. It taught me typing. And from there, I started writing for local newspapers. So I got a taste for journalism. And then I got a job. My first job in the BBC was on That's Life. You're too young for That's Life.
But also I grew up in Germany, remember? So we did.
Yes. Okay. Ich sprechen. No, I don't know what it is in life. And
We can do German lesson
Yeah,
after.
I
We don't have
did
enough
that
time.
afterwards.
Okay.
Can we come back?
Simon, Simon left. No more drinks. Simon, the producer, shaking his head already. No more German lessons.
We're going to run
please.
subtitles underneath, aren't we? No? Can we do that?
In every language, Spanish, Italian, everything.
for all our friends.
International. It's like
For
the
all
Eurovision
our
Song
friends.
Contest.
Exactly. So I got this job, and basically my job in television was on That's Life, which was a consumer program, and it used to get, in its day, went out on a Sunday evening, 15 million viewers.
Stop it.
Now, that's more people than watch the Queen's funeral. 15 million viewers is unheard of, but it got that every week on a Sunday. It was hugely popular.
Right.
Esther Ranson still is a fantastic, the leading, female journalist, amazing. And I got her breakfast for her every morning, an egg and cress sandwich, 2 milky teas and a green apple. And that was my job.
Every time the same.
Every time the same, yes. And I got her breakfast for her, and I started working as production secretary. Then I became a researcher. The BBC used to be like a big job shop. It was amazing. You could really progress.
Right.
I don't think it's as easy now. I became a researcher on Watchdog. I worked on the Kilroy program. So I worked. I've done all the jobs. I became an AP. And then when I was working on Watchdog, John Stapleton, who sadly passed recently, he said, let's get Slack Alice on the Dog and Bone. So basically, Watchdog was having live phone lines coming into the program, and they needed somebody to feed back the stories to John and his wife Lynn Foldswood at the front. And I would stand there looking like Diana, actually, and sounding like Diana.
It's
I don't know
so
what.
sensitive. You're still like really. I can feel the pain in you. Look like Diana. I felt like Diana. There were always three in this marriage.
I became posh, which is really funny. I come from a working class background.
All right.
Parents done good.
Right.
I came out posh.
Right.
So I'm not going to apologize for it, but
No,
actually it
why
loses
should
you jobs along the way.
Why would you?
And so I would just say, hello, John. Yes, we've had lots of phone calls coming in about this, this and this. And then I was in front of camera. I never wanted to be in front of the camera. Always wanted to be behind the camera.
But then you
Always.
felt comfortable doing it, or
Kind of. I've never really, I would always, still to this day, be rather producing and researching.
really?
Yes. Yeah.
So you don't love, because I mean, a lot of people, I mean, it's actually quite interesting that you say that, because I think lots of people are so desperate to be in front and
Honestly.
fame and what comes with it, you know.
Well, young people who say, I want to get into television, I say, what do you want to get into television for? Well, they see themselves as being front of camera, and it's a job that gets them wealth and riches and recognition and, paparazzi and things like that. But I say to them, honestly, I'm very, very lucky with the way my career has gone. But it's just not the gift that you think it is. It's really not.
And it's hard work, I guess, as well.
Well, it's hard work, but also when you're doing something, yours are the last words. It comes out of your mouth. And if something is wrong, and I've been, in Watchdog, it's quite a big shakes. You're sort of exposing companies.
Yeah.
If I get it wrong, or if I say the wrong thing or fluff, then it's my fault. I look stupid. And especially now, it's on the internet in seconds.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
It's just all out there,
It's so cruel, I think. It really is. Like
horrible.
what people write. It's and it's so personal. That's what I don't. I really don't get it. Everybody, because obviously doing this podcast now, I remember I called a friend the night before, and when I do things for John Frieda, which I'm an ambassador for, they could criticize me, which they did, like for
Of course.
a blow dry or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then I thought this time, they could actually criticize me for being me now,
Well, it's really strange. So only last week, somebody put underneath something that I had done, and this morning put it out on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere. And somebody underneath said, Alice Beer, she's such a bloody know-all. I thought, just think about it for a minute. I'm being paid to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So of course
and you do.
Well, I really, really do my homework. I'm never going to go on television not having done my homework. Because if I'm telling your mother which product to buy, or if I'm saying you trust this and you don't trust that, I really take that weighs quite heavily on me.
Yeah.
But of course I'm a know-all. That's what I'm there to be. I don't know it all beforehand, but I make sure I know it all when I'm on television.
Because that's your job.
So that's one insult. Somebody else said I had a face like a Cabbage Patch doll. Somebody else said, stop laughing over there. I can see he's laughing. Throw him out for laughing.
Out.
He's your husband.
It's my husband. I can't throw my husband
should
out.
go.
So I'm kind of mesmerized by, obviously, you can clearly see that you do your research, but how did that all come along? Because I feel like you saved not only a lot of people money, but also you kind of, it's like a lot of for health reasons and all of that, because there is a lot of shit out there to buy.
Absolutely. There really, really is. When I was a researcher, I didn't think investigative journalism was for me. I thought, I'm not good enough for that. I can't do that, possibly. So
Why?
Well, I just didn't think I was smart enough. I had gone to a private school where they told me I was thick the whole time.
Seriously, so you went to private school, so parents
I paid
for
money.
it.
I paid money for
they
to
told
be
you
told
you're
I was
thick.
stupid. Yes.
Whoever listens now.
I know.
Listen.
I know. When I was a researcher, I got a job on Watchdog. I applied for a job at this door-to-door sales company. They would go to an old people's house, and you can tell, seaside resort. You can tell where elderly people live, certain garden or, whatever, cliches, stereotypes.
Yeah.
Knock on the door or through the letterbox, fire, fire, fire. They come to the door, scared. They say, do you have any fire prevention equipment? No. Well, buy 2 smoke detectors from me for £50 each, or here's a fire extinguisher. I don't have any money. I'll take you to the bank. This
Yeah.
was their sales pitch. Horrible.
Yeah.
Really horrible. So I got a job working for the company. I had all the recording equipment taped into my clothes. I lived in a caravan for a week with the sales team. They used to drop me off. And the BBC said, you can do this undercover investigative work, but you cannot sell any products.
Right.
So I would go to the door and knock on the door, and they'd come to the door and say, hello, I'm selling fire prevention and protection equipment, but please don't buy it from me. You should have a smoke detector, but if you go and buy it from the local B&Q, it's going to be about £5. The ones I'm selling are about £50. And they would just stand on the doorstep, look at me like, who is this woman? What's going on? She's a door-to-door salesperson that doesn't want to sell anything. But and then they got very angry with me, the company, because I didn't make any money. So yeah,
Clearly not.
no, I wasn't good.
At least
Not-
you were honest, so that's encouraging that you
Yeah.
are actually really honest.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were very lucky enough to stay in your gorgeous house in Wiltshire, and I remember you had to do this live, and we were there for the weekend, and you said, "Oh, by the way, guys." I was there with my husband Sebastian, and you said, "Oh, by the way, I have to go live on Monday morning for this morning. That's the way we had to do it." But make sure everything is really quiet, and I never forget. First
I
of
mean,
all,
saying to you, make sure everything is really quiet.
I can't.
When there's a live TV camera in the house, it's like, I can't resist.
I did run
can't
around
resist.
naked through the house a lot, but this camera still didn't catch me. But I remember your dog suddenly started barking because the postman came.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
I never forget, Sebastian and me, I literally nearly had a nervous breakdown. I didn't know what to do. I could hear you talk. I knew it was live. I tried to calm the dog. I waved at the postman and go like, shoo, shoo, no, 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 and all of this. But what was your funniest experience with
Did
live
that give you a
TV?
really good taste for
Yeah,
it?
that's why I did a podcast. I thought I need to be on camera.
Oh, obviously, this is it. I once did a Saturday night show with Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer, and I was a sort of girl in the middle, presenting. It's called Families at War, and families would pitch themselves against each other. It was a very, very, very funny show. And we had Leo, one of the competitions was this man had to run on a treadmill with Leo Sayer on his back, singing "When You Need Love," and the treadmill would speed up and speed up. It was a weird competition. It was very, very funny. And at the end of it, the guy stopped, stood on the side of the treadmill. Leo Sayer got off and stood on the back of the treadmill and shot under a padded crash mat that was behind him. And I sat there saying, oh my God, this is the weirdest way to earn a living. We could not stop laughing, the whole audience. We had to repeat that so many times. Leo Sayer is under a crash mat because he's shot off from a treadmill. It was hilarious.
But
Worth
it must
finding
be-
on YouTube, actually, that
I
moment.
need to actually find it.
Yeah,
now.
you must.
But it must be obviously very different. You get nervous when you do live TV. It must feel different. Like you can't really.
I love live TV because as soon as it's done, you can go home. If you record it, like after this, we're bound to spend another 5 hours doing pickups where you've accidentally hit the microphone.
And I fixed your hair already, so in that case,
yes, true.
That was like obviously the.
Do you think I should carry on growing it, Andreas? What do you think?
I like it. I think it's.
I'm sorry to
different.
make
You
it
had
about me for a minute.
Darling, it's all about you. You know, every time, I said it before in one episode, every time I leave the house, Sebastian says, always remember it's not about you. And I think I am, Liz. I'm a good listener.
I think you're
You don't
growing.
think so?
Yes, I think you're developing that skill.
I think I'm a good listener. Also, like, obviously, you wrote a book which was called
Well, you're the interviewer. You should.
No, no, no. I know that. Confessions. No, what was it? It was something, not confessions.
Gotcha!
It was like, you know what? I actually prepared for this. I really
That's
did.
my next book I'm going to write,
So
The Confessions.
Confessions.
I wrote A Contented House with Twins. So it was about bringing up
Okay,
babies.
that's very complicated. I knew the end of it with
There was no way that you were going to get that, was
That's-
there? So
thank you. You
I
know
had
me
twin
correct.
daughters.
Yes.
The phone had stopped ringing for work. I'm perfectly honest about that period
was
of my
my
life.
question.
So basically, I had to stop work. The girls started coming out, which was very selfish of them. I was filming a property series at the time. Not physically. I went for a checkup before I went back to filming, and the doctor said, "I'm really sorry, but these guys are trying to come out. You're going to have to go on bed rest." I went on bed rest for 4 months before Netflix. I mean,
What
you
did
know,
you do?
not much. 8. I had to be in bed. I mean, it was just so boring.
could
I had no laptop, daytime television, which I'm not going to knock because it pays me a wage.
don't do
But
that.
at that stage, it was hard work. Anyway, so I was in bed for a while, and basically work had dried up anyway. So, you go through these things. The BBC puts you on everything, and then it doesn't want you anymore. So basically, I had stopped getting the phone calls, and work had stopped a bit. And I was at home with my babies when they were born. I was working a bit. I was doing a program called Heaven and Earth from Manchester at the weekends, which was great. But I was so grateful that I didn't have much work at the time.
So now, obviously, you turned us that you turned
You can say it, 60.
50 plus 10.
Yes.
60. So how does that feel now in the business you are in as a woman? How do you feel? Any different, or how is it?
I'm going to be honest. I'm very lucky, and I feel that the job I have now, which is consumer editor of This Morning, I don't feel that my age is a barrier. I feel that I'm respected for having gained a certain amount of knowledge through my career, and and I work hard. So I don't feel now. I think if I was wanting more work and really hungry for it, I think it would be hard, because I think it's quite a young person's game. But I honestly can say that at this age now, I've been very, very lucky. I've been so lucky.
But also talented. I mean, obviously.
Well,
do you not
but
think it
lucky
must-
too. I've always thought I am a very lucky person. I have, I get pregnant, it's twins. I fall in love. He's a good man.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I know I'm lucky,
Yeah.
and I acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And I think acknowledging your luck
Yeah.
is really important. But there was a time when the girls were very little, and the phone wasn't ringing, and I was at home looking after my babies and ironing Paul's shirts for him, and supporting him. But I wasn't. I'd been everywhere on the television, and the phone was not ringing for me. I didn't have an agent anymore, and I was at home with my babies. And I look back, and I am so, so grateful
that you had that time.
that I had that time. I was sitting on the floor, banging saucepans, playing with dolls, walking in the park.
Yeah.
I had that time with them. And I really think it must be very, very hard for parents today, not just women, parents today they see that they've got an opportunity, and it's come at the time when their children are little.
Yeah.
Because they've got to go and they've got to grab that opportunity, not just for their souls, but for the money, for their salary, and to enhance their career. But it's a really hard thing, I think. And I was lucky that I had the fame and the experience, and I'd ticked lots of boxes, and I'd traveled for work. So being at home with my babies actually felt really solid and good. And I look back, and honestly, I feel quite emotional about the fact that I had that time with them. I know that I was able to be a mother, and I feel very, very not sorry for, but I understand, I empathize with mothers that might be compromised because they can't go when their child needs to come home from nursery with a snotty nose. They can't just drop everything. I think that's really, really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Are you scared of aging?
No, I don't think so. I'm scared. I think when you hit a decade, so I think hitting 60, I've suddenly thought, okay, I think I've got 10 more years before maybe my physical functionality starts to go, oh, okay, oh, that hurt, or that hurt. So I'm very, very, very aware that I need to do weights. I walk with a weighted vest. I've changed my life according to what I know is coming.
What did you change the most, and what did you change about your life the most?
I went to see a really good doctor who said to me, okay, in 10 years' time, so my girls are 22 now, in 10 years' time, they might have babies. So you want to travel, you want to look after your grandchildren, you want to do this, this, and this. He said, you need to be able to lift weights out of an overhead locker. You need to be bend over, pick up grandchildren. You need to walk them in a pushchair. And this is a gilded experience, obviously. But if you want to do all that, you've got to put in the legwork now. So I do power yoga, I do weights, I do resistance training. So now I'm kind of on it. I don't want to get up in the morning and exercise. I don't have that burn desire
Same.
at all.
In my head, it all makes sense.
Oh, I
It
loathe
really
it.
does make sense, but everyone knows it about me. You know, like I'm being ambassador for John Frieda, they always ask me those questions. Or journalists, you know, they ask me questions like,
What is your
favorite
well-being?
sport and all of this? And I remember one journalist asked me once for German Vogue, and I gave this interview, and she said, what is your happy place? And I thought, okay, there are two choices now. I can tell you one is like...
Hang on, let me guess. Sitting with a margarita with friends around a table.
That was one option.
Okay.
But also that was like one when I feel really fit and I just feel like,
Okay.
oh, I work out and all of this and I feel great. And basically my answer was being on the Sunday at home underneath my cashmere blanket and watch an old movie. And she said, should I really write it? And I'm like, yes, because that's the truth.
Absolutely. But then when you were exercising like crazy, you did before your wedding, you went through an exercise thing, didn't you?
But then
And I know that you feel good. I've dropped a dress size. I ordered a size 12 instead of a size 14. Oh my God, that little thing.
I love your honest because
It
that
means so much,
love
doesn't it?
nobody really talks about it. I always feel like, you know,
Mm.
especially that is actually my next question is about like women on TV. I think when would you do plastic surgery?
I know. Listen, I don't think I'm beautiful. I don't think I'm a model.
Darling, I
but I
think
think
you're
I've been blessed with a fairly symmetrical, okay face and inherited good skin. You know, what am I going to do? You know, I think, yes, there's lots of things. I'd probably actually, no, I'm lying now. So, you know, the saggy bit on
I
your
wanted to do
eye?
that as well, but I'm not allowed. I'm looking over to
Oh,
Sebastian.
well, it's
I
nothing to do with
definitely
him.
am
It's your
gonna do
body.
that.
So that saggy bit, when I put on makeup, it's all makeup is gone within about half an hour because of the saggy, droopy eye. And I think it makes me look about a bit resting bitch face. And this makes me look a bit angry. And inside, I'm not angry.
But you are happy inside, right? I think that makes
Yes,
you
but
confident.
builders on a street are always say, cheer up, love, it might never happen. And you think, I want to turn around to you and say, somebody's just died, even though they haven't, just to make them feel really bad.
Do you-
Is that
Oh my God, I love
That's
you.
really
Do you look at yourself when you're on TV? Do you watch yourself?
honestly, I think, who is that woman with that mouth going like this and just sounding so ridiculous? No, honestly, I can't. I do look back sometimes because I have to listen to what I've said.
Yeah.
But
But do you not feel like it's an out of body experience? I mean, since I started this journey with the podcast, and now we are on YouTube and you can watch it on Spotify now as well. So when I watch
Hashtag,
it, I
that's
mean,
an advert.
that's an advert right there, right now. But I mean, it's like, for me, it's like an out of body experience.
Yeah.
I see myself, but then it's kind of not business-like, but it's more like I see myself, but I criticize myself, but I
Yeah.
don't feel like it's me.
who has ever got a packet of photographs back or looked back at photographs? You've gone out for the evening, you think you've looked great, you look at the photographs, you think, oh, hell. Why was I wearing that? The girls had a 21st birthday party last year. I had this white dress. I thought I was okay. I was wearing Spanx type suck it all in underwear underneath it. I looked at the photos back. I thought, oh my God, self-loathing. self-loathing to
I
the
don't believe
extreme.
that, but
No. Honestly, I honestly could have cried. I didn't think there was one nice picture of me. But we're all so self-critical, aren't we?
yeah, how do you think that? Why that is? Why is
Well,
that?
look at young people today, the things they have to go through. And when I was 18, I remember I was invited to a party that was not on my radar at all. It was a black tie thing. I didn't even know what black tie was. I borrowed a dress, an evening dress from a friend. I went to the party. I didn't even think of putting on makeup or having a blow dry or anything like that. We just went. That was 18. And now if you asked, I probably had one stubby eyeliner and one mascara. If you asked a young person today, they would have a drawer full of products, wouldn't they?
Oh my God, yeah, my
Makeup,
like, oh my God.
the things they spend on their faces, looking, conforming,
Yeah.
needing to be a certain way. And I grew up without that obligation.
But
And
being on TV must be different. I mean, it's like when you are in the public eye, I think, or is it not different when
I
you're
don't
actually...
know. I
No?
don't feel as though I want to be. I honestly feel a big, big duty to be honest to people who are watching. And if I sit in a makeup chair for hours on end and present this persona that is, this is what a 60-year-old woman looks like, the hell it is. This is what a 60-year-old woman who has an expert team of makeup artists
Yeah.
attack her face.
Yeah.
This is what she looks like.
Yeah.
Or who is lucky enough to be able to afford a nice top or whatever. That's not real life. That's
But
not
also,
what
I really mean it now. I really love that honesty, the way you talk about it, because I think that
think we are-
everyone seems to be like, everyone is so sensitive these days, what they actually give out to the world, what they say,
Yeah.
you know, and I really love that about you.
You
that you
have-
are just like,
Well,
you know
good.
what, this is how it is. That's like, I think it's actually really refreshing, right?
But if you see me walking the dog in the morning,
Yeah,
it-
but that's real life then.
yes, of course it is. So people compare themselves to influencers.
Yeah.
And I don't want my daughters growing up in a world where they feel they've got to compare themselves to other women
Yeah.
and compete to look more beautiful. It's not about that.
And
I think it's changing. I think it's getting better.
It's getting better now.
I
Is
hope.
there anything in your career now? What would have been your? Did you ever had like a dream job, or is it like what you do now? Is that something you are like? Actually, you know what? This is really working out for me, or this is what I wanted to do, or is
Do you know what I'd really like to do? So every single day, I see emails, messages from people who have had a horrible experience. They are stuck in a hell of a consumer problem. And I'm a one-man band. The program is the program.
yeah,
It can only do consumer once a week, twice a week. It's not a citizens advice bureau.
Yeah.
And of course I guide people where to go when I can.
Yeah.
I can't help them. I'm a
But how
one-man
could you help
band.
them?
Because I could exert pressure,
Yeah.
ringing a press office,
Yeah.
getting a result. I can't help most of the people. Somebody emailed me the other day or messaged me on Instagram, and I haven't replied to her yet, but I have thought about her every night as I've gone to sleep. She's had a terrible builder, and he's throwing a bill for £6,000 at her. She shouldn't pay it, and he's knocking on her door. She feels, she's obviously worn down by it, exhausted, and cannot afford it. I can't swoop in I could probably help her, but there's another 5 of her, 10 of her, and I can't do it. I have aged parents who I look after. I
Yeah.
have girls who I want to be there for. I have a husband, I have a home, I have a dog.
Yeah.
I have me.
yeah.
I haven't got capacity, and I wish I had the capacity.
But you feel like there should be a program out there where you actually like give advice, or you can help more people, because that's
help
why
more
when I was
people.
talking to a friend of yours who's a client of mine as well, and she said, you need to understand that you really saved people from finance stuff, also from health stuff, because what you recommend and people trust you. So there should be more out there, because so
Yeah.
much is fake now. That's the problem. I buy into it. I mean, Sebastian always goes like, "Oh my God, now he bought like that nose trimmer." Then I buy, and the most of it is like, why did I buy? Do
And
you
it-
think there is space for that? Like because we
Of
all
course,
want
there
it.
is honesty.
Who do we need to talk to now that you can?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? I think we've got to stop being so trusting. I think everyone on Instagram believes that the person that they're looking at, because they identify with them and they're talking down the camera, hi, you're my friend. I talk to you every day.
Yeah.
Well, they're being paid $5,000 to talk to you every day and say, look at this mascara. It's amazing. I found this mascara. It's great. Well, they've just got £5,000 to promote that. And I'm not going to say I've never taken money to do something on Instagram, but I have done various things, but promoting things that I believe in.
But that's the big difference.
If you see me promoting a skin cream, I'm not paid for it.
No, if I see you ever promoting a hair product, I will call you and I will be like,
Will you?
hold on a second here now, because you obviously hate products in your hair and now you
Exactly
a hair wax. I'm like, hold on a
But
second
I think
here.
people feel this obligation. Every time I go on television, people write to me, on Instagram and say, where did you buy this? Where did you buy that? Where's your top from? And I think you are seeing an image of a 60-year-old woman presenting herself well with hair and makeup in a nice top, and you think that top is the answer to a lot of your problems. And it's not. You don't need to go and buy that top. You just need to be happier and not feel that stuff is going to fulfill you.
But I think it's nice as well that you're actually like, I get inspired when I see someone, or it's not that I'm not happy. I just like something on someone and I want it.
But you maybe can afford to go and buy it.
But that's a different story.
It is. Because I think there are people with holes in their life, holes in their heart, holes in their head, obviously metaphorical.
Yeah.
And they think these can be filled with stuff.
Yeah.
And they never, never, never can. We've had good times and we've had bad times in my house.
Yeah.
And there's been some, times where we've questioned, where are we going? What can we do? And honestly, I think we were the tightest as a family when the times, when it hits the fan.
Yeah. And you are very close, so that's amazing. So what would you, if your daughters would want to go into your career or follow you, what would you tell them? I love you shaking your head.
Well, no, one of them, so I have twins, and one of them is studying to be a doctor. She's year 5, and she's always going to have me on the edge of my seat because she wants to go to Uganda and, she wants to go to other war-torn nations and treat in war zones. And thanks, Dora. So she's going to be a stress always, but I'm very proud of her. And then I have Phoebe, who wants to be a journalist. And now she's going and interviewing people and writing for local things. And she's about to do some sub-editing work. And I've just said to her, just promise me no television. It's been very, very kind to me.
Like that,
I know,
slippery
slope.
Girl, so
It's a slippery slope. She's a very good writer.
That's amazing. But also, I mean, obviously having the confidence, which they obviously, how was that for them actually when they grew up with you being on TV and you get recognized? And
well, luckily, the dip in my career was when they were little at school.
Okay.
So nobody was, the question then was, my mother says your mother used to be on television. It's like, whatever. People now still pass me in the street and say, didn't you used to be on telly? What are you doing these days? And you think, frankly, off. I'm trying my best. Just because you're not sitting watching me, didn't you used to be doing this? Didn't you used to be that?
So
shut up.
Rude, huh?
I
Some
know.
people are a little bit too honest.
Listen, if this is a has-been, I'm very happy with it.
But I had Kelly Cates on as well, and Kate.
Yes.
I said it right now because I always.
Oh, did you get that wrong? She's
but
amazing.
I love her. But we had this story about that when she then took over Match of the Day, and she was telling her daughters that they can mention it now because it was so like, no, in school. And her daughter looked at her and she said, why would I talk about your job in school? Nobody cares, Mum.
No.
Or when she got recognized in M&S and someone wanted a picture with her and they both said, it's the most embarrassing thing
Exactly.
I ever had to witness.
Yes.
So but I'm glad and I love it that they... like following your footsteps. I mean, a journalist.
Well, that is, of course,
a
I'll be
doctor.
proud.
What doctor is she going to be? Please say plastic surgeon or something.
I know, wouldn't
That's
that
from
be
our
useful? Well, plastic surgery would be very useful.
Oh God!
Just a little clinic somewhere.
Just like in the backyard.
The backyard.
It's so nice.
That's just dodgy. That's dodgy. I don't know. Should we just get her through university and off the payroll
that
first?
would be helpful.
And then we'll,
would
work
be
because she's chosen, like 7 years training. The other one is doing a master's after a 4-year degree. I mean, just go and
time.
earn some
Or
money
just
now.
marry them off. So what?
Yeah.
What is your? So this is.
No,
sa-
don't just marry them off.
Oh, I thought. Oh, I'm
Did
glad
you really
pick
say
up on
that?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I thought like marry them off to someone really
That's
wealthy.
the last thing.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's a sensitive
There used to be
subject.
a thing for Sloanes. I grew up in the Sloane Ranger time. I always aspired. I
Yeah.
came from a humble background, but aspired to be a Sloane. And they used to say, let's call her Marigold and hope she will. I mean, isn't that great? Call her Marigold. I didn't quite make it to
love
calling
that.
one of them Marigold and hoping she does, but yeah.
So this is sadly the last episode of my podcast for this season, and I'm
Andreas.
extremely grateful that I finish it obviously with you. So what is your wish for next year, for 2026?
I'm going to try and a sense of calm because I'm crazy running around all over the place and just being calm and being still and enjoying where I am at that time. Like right here, right now. How lucky are we?
So lucky.
So lucky. I mean, I could cry because this is my Sunday.
cry, no.
I've said, please do. It's good for ratings.
Yeah, nobody cried yet. Cry.
No,
No.
I've been to see my parents this morning. I've had a coffee with my daughter. I'm going to have a chat with my other daughter. Just appreciating where we are and what we have. I'm so lucky.
Because the
So
world
lucky.
is so up at the moment, so I think that's what we all need.
Yeah.
And I think this is the perfect ending, actually. I mean, obviously, we could chat for like another year, but I think that I would exactly say the same thing. I think it's like I'm so beyond grateful what I have in my life, and I think
And none of that is you've bought in a shop.
no,
None
and
of that.
to actually see that, I think that is the most important thing. So I can't thank you enough for being
gorgeous.
on this episode, and I wish you all the best.
Thank
and
you.
a Merry Christmas.
Oh,
And also, I obviously a podcast. There's a lot going on behind the scene.
is there? Where?
Yes.
can't see
So I definitely would love to introduce everybody to Simon and Phil. So please join me as it is the last episode and it's not all about me.
Oh, but it is. Oh, but it is. You mean
So-
the people that actually do the work?
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is Phil. He makes us look good. He does the sound and
No
the
pressure.
light. And this is my gorgeous producer, Simon, who really has to put up with a lot. I mean, I've never called. His girlfriend says now, "Oh, your husband is calling," and Sebastian says, "Oh, your another husband is calling." So we've got like this. So I'm beyond grateful, and I really want to thank all my guests. I want to thank all the listeners. I want to thank my husband, who is obviously has to put up with a lot, and also a very special person. You know who you are for making this happen, and I'm wishing you all a very Merry Christmas. I get emotional.
No, don't. I'm going now as well.
I could cry.
What are we
Every time I say
doing?
Christmas, I could cry. I don't know why. And I guarantee you, we will be back for season 3 next year. Thank you all, and
Yes.
a Merry
Merry Christmas.
everybody.
Happy
Thank you.
Christmas.